The celebrated jumping frog of Calaveras County and other sketches. A review. There's not much I can really say here, as this is basically a short story. And this is also Samuel Clem, aka the famous Mark Twain's first novel. Well, technically, first book. What the heck? It's basically about this guy who's tricked into listening to a useless story and he runs away in the process. It's about a frog that can jump higher than anyone else in the local town, and that's about it. That's it. That's the whole story. I can end the video right now, but I already made a summary about it, so I have to make a review now. So this frog itself is actually pretty much one of the most epic icons of American literature as well. So the celebrated jumping frog of Calaveras County is a must read, and apparently my school's summer reading list. And I'm not sure why Mark Twain himself wrote this too. He liked stories, and he himself liked the nature as well too. In fact, his pen name Mark Twain is actually a little nautical language, part of a word in a nautical language that basically means 2 knots down, because back then the ships, instead of using the kinds of meters, instead of using kilometers to measure distance, they used twains. They basically went ahead and used marks, which are like knots on a rope every few meters, I'm guessing. I've never done it myself. In fact, nowadays, not a lot of people actually go ahead and use the expression itself too. Mainly whenever we read this story, we just read it mainly because it was Mark Twain's classic story, and it's also his debut. Lots of people enjoyed it because of its actual kind of storytelling as well too. The celebrated jumping frog of Calaveras County itself is actually one of the more interesting ones as well too. The luck of the second narrator's character, was a little bit too high for my liking as well too. And then again, all he did was just analyze the mind of the other person and see how he or she will underestimate it. And if he or she haven't underestimated it, well, he'd underestimate it anyway, and he'd try to go against them too. And somehow he almost always won. Most of the times where he didn't win was because the person has cheated, such as this story that we were showing here too, where there was the celebrated jumping frog Calaveras County was pitted against another regular frog which couldn't jump as high, but while our narrator's character went ahead and grabbed the frog for the other guy for a bet on, the guy went ahead and cheated by putting a bunch of gun bullets, some pellets inside of him, lead pellets inside of him. Some sort of pellets inside of him. It's definitely not made of lead. And so the poor frog couldn't jump because it weighed 5 pounds. And with that, of course, he was cheated, swindled, and he basically tried to go ahead and hit the person. But then, of course, all of this goes ahead and shows how gruesome people can be when it comes to bets, shall I say. Lots of people actually go ahead and do bets. Some of them actually lose, mainly because, well, they've either been caught cheating or they were just weird, and they just made some very bad decisions. But mainly, a lot of people want a lot like Mark Twain himself too. Mark Twain never made a bet. In fact, he had an honest life on a steamboat ship, and like on a boat ship as well too, the cabin boy, I'm guessing. And he basically lived a comfortable life, as well as writing things as well too. He loved the outdoors, he loved the rivers, and eventually he just settled down writing stories for the public. Huckleberry Finn, Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn are one of his most famous stories. In fact, I made a book review about it before, but there is a lot I can talk about Mark Twain here as well too. I read The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras Country before, but it wasn't to my liking. But now, well, I was I was 6 years old at the time. What do you think I want to read? And of course, then it's kind of connected, I'm guessing. Celebrated Jumping Frog Calaveras County is just one of those books that goes ahead and makes my heart jump out as well too. Instead of a frog jumping out in front of me, of course, I have like my heart jump out. I was actually especially thrilled when I found out that the guy cheated. I know I have some experience in that, and yeah, that's it. Some tips on how to cheat. Do it quickly. Say we want to go ahead and touch this area. Look the other way. And do it quickly. Once the person gets used to it, you can overreach, but that's just my main tip on it as well too. This is how you cheat. You go ahead and do things quickly. You go ahead and you give out a glance of it, but then don't give a glance back. If the person somehow is to shout, well, you're doomed, but most people are actually go ahead and worried about their own cards as well too. I only know all this because I worried about my own cards and hadn't realized the other person has cheated until it was too late. And so I take advantage of recent people's short attention spans. And of course, with that, the celebrated jumping frog of Calver's County Review is done. I hope you guys have learned something new today, maybe read about it a bit. It's a pretty interesting story, and I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, strong peace. Bye bye.